The explanation. This lecture focuses on one kind of special explanation, a literature survey. Typically an academic exercise, a literature survey is written to demonstrate that you fully understand all aspects of a field before you advance an argument in the field. And to fully understand the state of the field, it's important to understand these 5 items: the players, the significant problems, the significant discoveries, current controversies, and current or recommended solutions. When we think about players, we need to ask, who has written the most about this issue? Who cares about this issue? Is it political? Is there a historian or journalist who has written a lot about it? Is there an academic or a couple of academics who have written a lot about it? Is there a company or a professional organization for this field? Or is there a nonprofit organization for this field? What you should do. You should Google to see who or what comes up. You should check Google Scholar to see if an academic is specializing in this topic. You should check Amazon to see who has published in this field. I often find looking at Amazon at the books particularly helpful. Of course, check out Wikipedia for sources and the sources in the articles that are related to the topic, and check any specialized database or collection of articles. That may be something you don't know as much about, and so you may need to contact your librarian to see if there is a specialized database or specialized collection of articles. With regard to significant problems, here are the things to ask. Who are the stakeholders? Are any of the stakeholders unable to speak for themselves? And are there any stakeholders who are unaware that they are affected? Are there disproportionate consequences to one group? Is there an equity issue? Is there a lack of data? Is there no one willing to collect the data? What you should do. You should Google to see if there's an advocacy group. You should think a little bit. Is there money to be had? And from whom? Is anyone doing fundraising and why? You can check Instagram and YouTube or other social media to see if someone has taken on this cause as a way to raise funds. Also check the website Our World in Data to see if this problem is considered a global or a local issue. In other words, is it represented on Our World in Data? Now let's think about significant discoveries. What you might ask yourself is, does this problem have a timeline? Do you think there is a before and an after in this field? And what would be the demarcation between those 2 lines? What divides before and after? Is there a founder to the field? And what do people think of that person now? Are any of the players scientists or academics who have published a history of discoveries? Have any new tools or instruments or practices been adopted by people in this field? What you can do. Google your subject and the word timeline. That may not work, but it may. Check Wikipedia for the names of any special instruments or special terms associated with your topic. Check the biography for the founder of the field and see what is associated with that person. Oftentimes it's helpful to talk to an individual in the field. That person may be the most helpful in figuring out if there is a quote-unquote before and after. Current controversies. What you should ask yourself is, are there opposing camps about a particular fact or practice? Sorry, that's Tucker objecting to me recording again. All right, are there opposing camps about a particular fact or practice? Why does this controversy matter? Who is most concerned about the outcome and why? Is there a set of data that can't be replicated? Is the outcome of some practice unclear? Would time resolve this controversy? Why or why not? Meaning, is this a problem of ethics or is this a problem of discovery or new facts? Well, what you should do, you can just Google controversy about the subject you're researching and see what pops up. You can look to see if there are relevant data sets that are available to the public, or are they kept to the province of specialized researchers and you have to really know where to look or you need to ask for permission to see it. You can scan the footnotes included with your articles to see if the author wants to comment on his or her opponents. And there are not so many researchers who use footnotes, but those who do frequently do want to talk about their opponents. Look for the obligatory, of course, so-and-so do not agree with me, paragraph in a paper, or so-and-so do not agree with this position, paragraph in a paper. It often is there. talk to someone in the field. That person may have a good idea about the controversies in the discipline that you are investigating. Last, let's talk about current or recommended solutions. What to ask? If the issue is political or of social interest, has the historian or journalist who has written the most about it been an advocate for a particular solution? Who stands to profit from the recommended solution? Is there an organization specifically touting one kind of solution? Who should care about a solution, and does that person have a voice? What you can do: Google solutions to the issue you're talking about and see what comes up. Check Google Scholar using that same prompt. Google the title of your topic and the words white paper. White paper will often produce a kind of policy statement from some group that's interested in it, and you may find a kind of a treasure trove of information just using the term white paper. Check any specialized database or collection of articles using a narrower time frame, the last 3 years, and add the term solution or problem. And again, talk to someone in the field. That person may have a good idea about the latest ideas in the discipline that you are investigating. We're going to come back to these 3 topic areas, so I'm going to just quickly cover what it might look like to assemble the players, problems, discoveries, controversies, and solutions for 3 topic areas. Let's start with food waste in America. The players could be schools or restaurants, homes or factories, farms, or transportation companies. The problems, of course, are waste, oversized portions, or poor ordering, or poor transport technology, or poor preservation. Discoveries could include preservation, the Internet of Things, including your fridge that can order for you, maybe faster transport or more local varieties. The controversies around food are kind of endless. There's sugar, there's the carbon footprint of transporting your food to you, there's the problem of monoculture, so that certain kinds of species are vulnerable to disease, there's kids' diets, there's how animals are raised for slaughter, there's getting unused food to those who need it faster, lots and lots of controversies. And solutions really could include changed minds and changed practices in a whole host of areas. We'll come back to this one. Let's take another topic: who Shakespeare might really be. Shakespeare is a point of controversy. There are a few scholars who persistently think that we don't have the right guy as Shakespeare, and that Shakespeare is somebody else who has not been properly identified. So who are the players in this topic? Well, it's Shakespeare scholars, maybe a few other scholars of special subjects who could learn from how this problem of identity is addressed. Sorry, I need a drink here. All right, drink of tea, by the way. Problems. Well, basically, it's a loss of documents. It's a historical problem. People didn't keep everything that they could have kept, and so we don't have every piece of evidence that we could have had. The discoveries we might have are either new literature discoveries or new historical artifacts. The controversies really include how to read and understand what the documents are now. And the solutions, maybe they're none in sight. You can always decide not to agree with or count someone else's reading of a text. So I'm not sure that this controversy is going to be resolved very soon. A last topic for us: Yersinia pestis and the bubonic plague. There is a little minor controversy over whether or not Yersinia pestis was in fact the cause of the bubonic plague. The players would be the scientists and historians, and of course the problem is that everyone who first got this disease is dead and can't be checked with. Well, there are discoveries, and the most important one is that there's a cure for the bubonic plague, even though a few people and a few species still harbor the plague. It can be easily cured. For uncovering whether or not the plague was really caused by Yersinia pestis, we look at archaeological investigation of bones and DNA. And for the most part, this controversy was resolved in the last 10 years with an affirmation: yes, it was Yersinia pestis that did the deed. Controversies happen because the data is poorly preserved, and happenstance. That's the way it is when there's bones that you're looking at. They're not all the way marked with you. Hey, look at this one's going to help you out. So you have to kind of know where to look, and sometimes you just have to get lucky. And the solutions are, of course, continued research. Your next topic to explain will be the positive behavior intervention and supports. I'm going to give you just 3 articles to read, so it's not going to give you a whole lot of scope to answer these questions, but I'm going to ask you to do your best to figure it out, and we will work together to write a short explanation of the field paper.